really excited to get to have all these great journalists standing here, or sitting here. You guys are sitting. I'm standing. Okay. It's kind of a reunion.
That was fake news.
That was good. Did you guys catch that? Did you? Yeah, okay. So we just want to make sure you're on your toes and you can recognize things.
Yeah.
Observation is a big tool for journalism, so your eyes will not betray you here. So today we're going to get started. I'm going to have kind of go down the line and let each journalist introduce themselves and share a little bit about what they do. And then after that, we're going to move into a discussion of fake news and how it's impacting journalism today. When I started, in this business about 20 years ago, not to date myself, we didn't have all this wasn't the same kind of issue it is now. Things were a little bit different. So hopefully you'll walk away from this enlightened about how these journalists are navigating today's ever-changing media landscape, and you'll know more about how you can maybe get into a career like this if this is something you aspire to yourself. So I'd like to start off with Catherine Barrett from Channel 13. If you can explain a little bit about what you do. And
I'd be glad to. Thank you all for being here. I'm Catherine. I work at WZZM, which is one of two ABC affiliates in the Western Michigan region. And we're right up on Alpine and 3 Mile. And I have been there for over 30 years. And prior to that, I worked up in Cadillac, Traverse City at a CBS affiliate, TV9 and 10. So I've been at this a long time, and I've seen a lot of changes in our industry, and I'm anxious to hear your questions and your observations on the way things have changed, and perhaps share a few stories. I am currently, I've done everything in the building almost, but currently I'm hosting a lifestyle show called My West Michigan. And there's a segment in the show called The Exchange, and it used to be you could never, it still is, you could never buy your way into a newscast on television, but these are called sales-friendly shows, and there are sections which are sponsored by local sponsors, which is absolutely new territory in our industry, but very much happening all over the country. And so that's interesting new ground, and I'm breaking it. So that's that.
Very good. Hi there, everybody. I'm Clayton Cummins, a GRCC alum. I was taking classes here a couple years ago. Right now, I am an anchor and a reporter at WILX. We're the NBC affiliate in Lansing, Michigan. I do a variety of things. Reporters are responsible for generating the stories. We're responsible for posting on social media. Again, we are MMJs, multimedia journalists, where reporters are shooting their own stuff, editing their own stuff, and presenting it at the end of the day, whether that's a live shot, whether that is something that is presented in the studio. That's what I do during the week. On the weekends, I anchor our 6 and 11 o'clock shows at night on WILX. We are in kind of a special partnership with the Fox affiliate where the local Fox affiliate there, Fox 47, will pay Channel 10 to produce their newscast. So with the flip of a switch, the lights change colors, the graphics behind us change, new logo, new color scheme, and I anchor the 10 o'clock from 10 to 11. I do social media during the weekends, Facebook Live, so on and so forth. It's really a variety of responsibilities on the weekends at WILX.
My name is Justin. I'm a reporter at the Grand Rapids Business Journal. I cover multiple beats, including healthcare, economic development, nonprofits, higher education, a few others. I've been there for about 7 months. I just moved back to the area from California for this job. And I'm a former GRCC student, former editor of the Collegiate, about 6 years now. I was the first editor that you worked with when you first came.
Right, and you told me before we met, there was word that I didn't find an editor, and they said, okay, your first job is to find an editor-in-chief. And Justin, remember he called me, he got my phone number, like good reporter. He's like, okay, who's in charge? I gotta call this lady. He called me and he said, don't worry, you don't have to do any interviews. I'll be the editor-in-chief. Way to go. So we did interviews anyway. And he got the job. But yes, it's been 6 years. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that long.
No, and we haven't aged a bit.
This must be what Mark Zuckerberg feels like today.
I hope you're more comfortable than Mark is feeling right now.
For sure. Last time we saw each other was an indoor triathlon, right?
I think so,
She's
yeah.
a rock star swimmer.
Yeah, I'm kind of in between. You kept up with it. This year national circuit competition, or international competition, well, that'll be another podcast,
That's
panel.
another
Yeah.
panel discussion.
Yeah.
Right now it's all about fake news. I'm Shelley Irwin with WGU Public Media, which is the local PBS and NPR affiliate here in Grand Rapids, licensed by Grand Valley State University. I'm honored to host a radio show from 9 to 11. So at 10:59, I pushed the button and I was out the door. It's filled with anywhere between 6 to 10 informational, educational, and informative interviews, basically about our community. I would like to think it's positive. It's letting you know where to go, what to do, and certainly needs in our community. I always like to ask at the end of some of our interviews, how can the community help you? Also interview a lot of authors, entertainers that are in-house in our area as well. Also lucky to have some platforms in our public television station as well, with hosting of Family Health Matters and Kalamazoo Lively Arts, Community Connection. So a little of this and a little of that, and that's why we run so hard, running away from something. So
It's great
lucky to be here, and I've done several GRCC interviews as well. So.
All right, Jen.
Okay. First of all, thanks for inviting me. If any of you are students of Jen, she's the real deal. I worked with her at the press. She is a fine reporter, a fine editor, and a fine journalist. So you're lucky you got her. Again, I'm Jim Harder. In our business, the first thing we learn is you don't bury the lead. The most important part of the story today. So I've got to tell you, I was just, I just accepted a buyout. So after 42 years of doing this, I'm going to be doing something else at the end of the month. A lot of that has to do with the collapse of the newspaper business model. And I can talk about that if you're interested. I've covered, I've been in this business 42 years, almost 38 with Grand Rapids Press and MLive for the last 6. Hopefully all of you are familiar with MLive as the premier news source online in West Michigan, and I'm being serious here. We also publish the Grand Rapids Press. Some of you may have seen this. If not, ask your parents or grandparents about it. They like it. We've got Sudoku in there if you want to have some fun. But we've also got some important news stories. Just a little background on myself. I grew up in Holland. I decided to go into journalism after I abandoned my political science major in the wake of a political scandal called Watergate. I came to realize that political science is one of the biggest oxymorons in academia. And I can go on about that too if you like. But I've really enjoyed journalism because it's a search for the truth, and we can get into that too. But anyway, I've been in this business for 42 years. I started out at the Holland Sentinel and moved up to the Mount Pleasant paper. I worked in Lansing for a year, and then I came to the Grand Rapids Press in 1980. And here I've covered federal courts, I've covered business, I've covered City Hall, I've covered politics. So I kind of know the waterfront in terms of journalism. So.
Well, thank you. And Jim, I just want to commend you for 42 years. That's a long time. And that was my grandson. Congratulations on So now we're going to get on to the point, our topic today, which is fake news. And I want to start out by maybe one of you on the panel, maybe if you want to jump in and kind of just to make sure we're all on the same page here in this room, define what is fake news? How do you see, what do you consider fake news? So who would like to jump in on that?
Well, I asked my wife this morning,
So you'd be ready. So you'd be ready.
my sounding board, what's fake news? And she goes, Donald Trump. But he invented that term, you know, as a defense for, you know, journalists, you know, calling him out for his lies. He started calling them fake news, and it took place. And she goes, no, he's fake news. So it all depends on who you are and what your narrative is in terms of what fake news is. But fake news is in my opinion, information with which you disagree and you don't have an argument to articulate your disagreement, and so therefore you slap the easy label of fake news on it, just like our president.
We are here with Michelle, and Michelle, why are you here today?
I am here because I am a GRCC student and I care about fake news.
All right. And in your mind, what is fake news?
Fake news is not credible. I believe it usually has a fiscal agenda for usually compensation. Somebody's making money somewhere.
And where do you usually get your news?
I'm younger, so I don't typically watch a lot of television. So I would say social media, research-based articles. I use a lot of databases through the library.
All right. And do you think that journalists can fight fake news? And if so, how do you think they can do it?
I think with the technology now, we have a lot of, I don't know, like, we can unify, we can branch out, we can uncover fake news a lot easier.
Never has the role of a journalist been more important than in this current climate.
Yeah.
It is essential that we're rooting out the truth. And so I feel like, you know, that's, while it's a scary time and our industry is changing and our attitudes toward what we do are changing, it also feels good to be so necessary in the world right now too.
This happened today on Facebook. Friend says, no, Yonkers is closing. Other friend says, that's a joke, right? The friend responds, not according to TV8. So, again, she's believing this because of your source. Did she check another source, is where I'm going with that.
Yeah, well, I think reasonable people know what, you know, reliable sources are, I think, and they recognize the job we're doing, and that's the appeal of fake news, that it appeals to people's pre-existing biases. It's, you know, and I think we've all fallen for probably a fake meme or something like that, and some of them are just so well crafted that you just wonder, why would somebody put so much time into this? Or you see one where it's like, well, this guy's actually said worse things than this. Why create this fake one that says something even less inflammatory? But it's, you know, and it's done on purpose. It's done to appeal to that base instinct on either side, on the left and the right. You know, so if you read something and you're like, I can't believe they said that, they probably didn't.
This exists on several different planes. I cover agriculture as one of my beats. My granola-eating progressive wife refers to the large successful farms I write about as CAFOs, concentrated animal feeding operations. She thinks they're immoral. I grew up on a farm. I see highly productive, efficient ways of delivering affordable food. That's why you can get a hamburger at McDonald's for $1. Competing narratives. Is a successful farm a CAFO You know, and the problem is the fake news label is gotten taken over by, in the political sphere, where we are trying to decide whether or not truth should play a role in politics. And you know, the Trump administration, you know, Donald Trump is demonstrably a liar. I mean, truth is just something that he finds an impediment to what he wants to do. I mean, you can prove he lies on a number of different things. He slapped this label of fake news on the people who are calling him out on that, and now we've got this competing narrative. But it's, you know, it's been around for a long time. I mean, William Randolph Hearst, if you know who he is, started a war with fake news, yellow journalism. He became one of the wealthiest men in America on yellow journalism, which was fake news. That was 100 years ago. So we go through these cycles in which we need to cleanse ourselves of these false narratives, and we're in the middle of it right now. Hopefully 20 years from now we'll look back and chuckle and go, oh man, we really didn't know what the truth was back then. But
So we're here with Jonathan now, and Jonathan, why are you here today?
I'm here to find out the solution about fake news. How is it affecting like our community? Mm-hmm.
And where in particular do you get your news from, be it sports, be it just general news?
In our days, most of us, we get news from TVs, newspapers, and on social media as well.
What platforms of social media do you use usually, be it Facebook, Twitter, Instagram?
Well, I always use Facebook on the most time, and Instagram, and Twitter as well. Mm-hmm.
And what do you hope to take away from today's panel?
Like, you know, like these days, most of people, they've changed, like social media is something to post fake news most of the time. So I don't really believe on news I always see on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. It's hard for me to believe it's true or fake news.
Maybe we can talk about that, because a guy who used his freedom to post whatever he wanted on the internet actually determined how you were going to spend your day recently with an assignment you just did. So can you explain the story that you covered the other day?
Yeah, it's probably the most benign use of fake news ever. But the Hunter Street Bridge is, I don't know how many people have heard about that, but it's this bridge down South Kent County that suddenly this year people have just started hitting with their trucks. It's been around forever, and I don't remember 7 people so far have hit it. It's apparently too low, or people are just not, or maybe it's because people aren't enforcing the high truck rules. I don't know what it is, but anyway, this guy created there's a website called for the Hunter Street Bridge, where it talks about, you know, please don't hit me anymore and stuff like that. And so a couple weeks ago, a guy decided to create an event where he was inviting everyone to come with bubble wrap in order to bubble wrap the bridge in order to protect it from trucks. And 4,000 people said they were going to attend. 4,000. And so Michigan State Police, I would have loved to have been in the meeting where they discussed this, decided that they had to issue a release to the media saying, don't bubble wrap the bridge or we'll arrest you. And so that's good-natured kind of fake news. It didn't have the impact, but still it was enough to get the Michigan State Police attention.
All right, we are here with Shannon. And Shannon, why are you here today?
I'm attending for a campus engagement assignment for my CLS class.
And where do you usually get your news? Be it online, newspapers, social media?
Social media, online, and the newspaper.
All right, all three. What is fake news to you?
Something that doesn't sound real. That isn't real.
All right. Do you think that journalists can fight fake news? And if so, how do you think they can do it?
Yes, I do, and I guess depending on the source of the news, they can refute what's fake, what's credible, what's not.
When the platforms we use come under fire and the public starts to turn on them a bit, how does that, what do you think, how does that complicate what we're doing? Because we're all on Facebook.
We're talking about so-called free media. Do any of you pay for Facebook? No. Do any of you pay for Instagram? No. Do any of you pay for Snapchat? No. Do you pay for Twitter? No. But you are paying. You're paying a price in your privacy. I mean, when I go into shoes.com and order a pair of shoes, why does every page I look for the next 2 weeks show me shoes? I go, no, I bought them already. Don't you know this? Behind the scenes, you ever notice how, look in the lower left-hand corner of your browser when you go to a site, there's all these little things flashing across. These are all these organizations mining your information, what you've got on your laptop, your phone, whatever. You are sacrificing your privacy. You are sacrificing what you are interested in, and that's what happened with Facebook. This organization was mining all this data off of Facebook so they could tailor messages to you. My liberal friends live in an entirely different Facebook community than my conservative friends because of how the messages are shaped and steered towards their biases. That's what happened here, in that, Facebook basically opened its door to, I can't think of the name of this sport, Analytica, which then, sold this information to the Russians or whomever and used it to shape a message that determined how you looked at the presidential race and how you voted.
I got one of those notifications today saying that my stuff had been compromised by Cambridge Analytica, which doesn't surprise me one bit, because during the election, 75% of my feed was just utter garbage, just utter falsehood. It was amazing. So I'm not surprised. And everybody knows you're the commodity when you're on Facebook. You're what they're selling.
And I guess what I was getting at is, since media outlets, mainstream media outlets have embraced Facebook as a product to promote our content, and we're all on it saying, this is a story I reported today, or this is a podcast that I've uploaded, or here's my segment. And now you have people distrusting Facebook, and some of us are using that to drive people back to our sites. So I'm just curious on how you guys are working around that, or what you're thinking you're going to do as more people might leave Facebook to get people to see your content.
Honestly, we're still using it, but Facebook consumers are going to age out eventually. I mean, I would venture to guess that most of the students in this room don't even use Facebook. This is like not a conversation that applies to them. They're off of it. They think old people use it. Their parents do, right? Right?
Yeah.
So we'll be on to the next thing, and it'll get compromised, and that's the new paradigm.
We'll be continuing to chase young viewers and readers.
Have to.
Yeah.
So I guess the question to the audience, where are you, social media-wise? 20-year-old.
Where are you guys getting your news?
Snapchat, Insta, and then you get your news and everything there. Yeah.
We are here with Daniqua. And Daniqua, why are you here today?
Just because I'm interested in journalism, so I wanted to learn how to fight fake news when I decide to start my career in journalism, so I don't have to just try to play catch up. Instead of being reactive, be more proactive about it instead.
And to you, what is fake news?
To me, fake news is when, there's not really an argument against it, or like there's not really any proof for it. So then if somebody calls it fake news, it's usually because they don't have any proof, even if it is right. So it's kind of just like basically just taking away the validity of anything that's being said, whether it is true or not, just because you call it a fake news. So now it's like, even if it was true, we can't believe it again.
And as an aspiring journalist, do you think that journalists can fight fake news? And if so, how can we do it?
I do. I think like if they're just objective and honest and truthful and just present the facts in a well thought out process instead of like pointing out any biases on either side, then yeah, we could definitely fight fake news. It's just a matter of fighting the lies with the truth. Eventually people will realize that the lies clearly are shown there.
Just wondering, do you have any advice, like where can we actually go, right, fresh out of college? Some of us are planning on graduating this semester. So where can we go to find jobs?
There's one open up right there.
Seriously, we've got internships and we've got a core of bright young reporters who are smart, ambitious, hardworking, and we're winning awards for our coverage, for our work we're doing. But it's not going to be easy, but it'll be thrilling and fun. And
it also depends whether you're willing to move or not. I mean, if you're willing to go somewhere else. I mean, being tied to one geographic area increases the difficulty. And so if you're willing to go somewhere, it's going to start small, it's going to start low pay.
You may have to produce before your dream is on air. Just don't allow yourself to be pigeonholed into she's a great producer. And if your heart is really to be the deliverer, then make sure your steps take you to the delivery. But producing is, you're going to learn everything as well.
I think it's important to every opportunity you have, take it and rock it. When I had started here at GRCC, I was the multimedia editor at the Collegiate, the very first one, with a tiny little handheld camera. I took that opportunity, and along with Jennifer's help, we were able to rock that position. We were next door creating little mini newscasts for YouTube.
I've seen them.
Yeah. Take every
Great job.
take every position and rock it. Make it the best what it can be. Hard work goes noticed. It may not feel like it, but hard work goes noticed.
Any other questions? Any other comments? Well, thank you so much for coming out with this.